I've gathered you guys here because we have the task of creating a Drake School of Journalism promotional video. And I know we have the brains, the brawn, and the dashing good looks to get this done. So let's throw some ideas around.
Drake University mascot Harlem Shake.
No.
Guys, my cat's pretty hilarious.
No cats, no memes, no gimmicks. Any other ideas?
I definitely don't want to focus on the boring stuff. You know, buildings, lecture halls, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, and I hate when they just have shots of kids out on the quad laughing. I mean, what's so funny about the quad? It's just the quad.
I definitely don't want one of those pretentious self-referential videos where the producers are constantly breaking the fourth wall.
How about we just let the students tell their stories?
Yeah, I like the idea so far. I just think people are going to want to know what we do after we graduate.
How about we just let some alumni talk about their experiences?
I think we got some good ideas. Let's go get started.
Journalists are at the heart of everything we do. You know, that's how we consume what's going on in the world, is because of journalism.
There isn't anybody who needs to be communicating about something who isn't trying to figure out how to get their video out there and seen by millions of people.
I now work at ESPN as a production assistant.
I'm actually a DJ on Star 102.5.
Chicago Bears.
Kicks 101.1.
KCCI. Better Homes and Gardens.
Hulu in Los Angeles, California.
An aha moment for me was standing in the back of the tunnel at a Chicago Bears Monday night game, and I got to watch Brian Urlacher run out of the back of the tunnel for one of his last games, and I just thought, I'm getting paid right now.
Because I work on things like trailers, we get invited to premieres and like screenings and whatnot. It was really cool to be able to say that, hey, I get to do this through work, and that's kind of neat.
The Drake curriculum and how easy it is to get involved here, that definitely, I would say, is the #1 factor as to how I got the job at KCCI.
I couldn't have even gotten that job without Drake. I get into the studio for my training at Star. It's exactly the same interface as 94 Won the Dog, and it's the same interface that I use as the program director.
I'm constantly amazed at how hands-on our program is compared to other programs in the country. Every year when I go to academic conventions and conferences with other people who teach in this field, I always expect to hear that they're doing more and more hands-on stuff. And still, to this day, it seems like no one has caught up with the amount of hands-on work we do as soon as we start doing it. The students have their hands on the gear from the day they walk into the school.
Drake prepared me to work in electronic media because it had me work on all aspects of the production. I worked behind the camera, I worked in front of the camera, I wrote, I edited, I shot, and so you really know what goes into the process. So there's a lot of different angles that journalism has an impact that people aren't even really aware of.
What I think makes Drake's journalism program so unique and different from any other program or big school out there is the fact that you have so many opportunities, and with those opportunities, you're working with your peers, learning what it takes to make it in this e-media field. When I look back at my Drake career in journalism, I think back to the opportunities I had to work on the largest student-run telecast in the country with the Drake Relays. I think back to making student productions that won student Emmys.
It's a smaller program, sure, here at Drake, but what's great about it is that means you can get in. You can get in the seat. You can direct if you want to direct. You can produce if you want to produce. It really gives you flexibility to sit in many chairs. And the downside of that is also a strength. If you don't want to direct, you're still going to have to direct. And that helps build your skill set.
I didn't have any experience coming in to college, any electronic media experience, so I was very concerned that, oh my gosh, I was going to be so behind, and I didn't know where to kind of begin with that. So getting involved with DBS right away, I was a board op my freshman year. I served as one of the producers for Relays my freshman year. So getting involved with that, I think, was a really good stepping stone and really good items to put on my resume right away.
I actually got in touch with Professor Wright before I was coming to Drake. There was a home basketball game that day, and he actually got me to be a part of the video crew for the basketball game. So I was not even sure that I was going to Drake yet, and I was already getting involved on campus.
We're smaller and we can adjust much faster. So we put a little more emphasis on the professional side of things, I think, than the academic side of things. So we're really interested in giving people the skills they need to do the jobs of today.
Even though all of everything might change with the economy, people still want to see sports, so it'll still be on TV. So that means I still have a job.
Radio's not dead. Radio's not dead at all.
Really? Journalism is dying. Let's see, that's why there are so many millions of bloggers in the world and why so many websites are so popular. We have this outdated notion that journalism is printing words on paper. Journalism isn't printing words on paper. Journalism is covering a story objectively and then delivering it to your public. The difference is the mechanism of delivery has changed.
Journalists can figure out how to write good tweets for Twitter or good posts for Facebook or create a video that actually tells a story in 15 seconds for Instagram as opposed to here just 15 seconds of random video I took with my phone. So our ability to, as journalists to tell stories is more in need than ever before.
The heart and soul, I think, of the journalism program at Drake is just really the teamwork that everyone forms while they're here. You learn that you can't get something done unless you rely on everyone else that's around you, and you really have to work together to get there, and that's something that's really special and really applicable once you get into the real world.
I think passion. All of the journalism students that I have come across are definitely very passionate about their craft.
I know when I went to journalism school, I didn't feel a strong connection with the faculty, and I see day in and day out that from students here.
It's a lot of fun to, be in the J School family because it really is a family.
We don't just like what we're doing, we love what we're doing.
Drake rocks.
Anyone who's even considering the idea of coming to Drake needs to visit because there's just no other way to understand what Drake is all about without being here.
It just really is a recipe for success.
You've got to come visit.
So, did we capture the essence of our J School?
That'd make me want to come check this place out. Works for me.
Now we just have to wait for them to come and visit.
Roll credits.